The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome to another excellent edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more, do we go into the breach, dear friends?
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
So we've got the S&P off 3 points, the Dow's up 3, NASDAQ's up 16, or off 16, excuse me. And that's about it. We've got kind of a very quiet day looking for what is it? Netflix out after the bell. No real signals or any ideas on that. As I said before, one of the most untransparent stocks to trade. They can literally say anything and maybe carry it on for a while if they want to cook the books a little bit. And everybody does. They take kind of a optimistic look at their company. Only when do you get a new CEO do they try to get rid of all that optimism in one fell swoop. So normally the first couple of quarters after a new CEO, everybody's fairly reticent because, of course, they want to get rid of the excises, the largest of the previous CEO. We don't have any of that in Netflix. We just have a lot of unknowns. The question is, how much does it cost to get internet in foreign countries? They've gone to some 37 new foreign countries. In doing that, I've talked to a lot of people, and they think that there's at least a little bit of Netflix kind of ignoring the U.S. market. As I said, I haven't really seen anything that I saw that was real interesting. I do have Amazon Prime, and for what I watch on TV, that seems to be about enough now. There just wasn't a lot of new stuff on Netflix that made me want to continue after Christmas last year. So I kind of look at this and I kind of go, well, maybe there is stuff, maybe there isn't. Kind of hard to tell. So we are kind of just waiting to see what these guys see. I think there's a lot of other stocks that you can infer a lot about, like railroads. If you know that oil prices are down and they're not shipping as much oil, or sand back up to the northwest, you can kind of infer that maybe that business and the train business is going to be down a little bit. If you're in the aviation business, crude's higher, energy's higher, you can pretty much guess that those prices are going to be lower in the airline business. And that's what we're saying. We're looking at a lot of these FANG stocks, and even Apple. You can get a little idea of how many phones people are selling because, of course, they've got to go through T-Mobile and Sprint and the rest of them. So you get kind of at least some kind of idea. I think the only people that have any idea how Netflix is doing is probably MasterCard and Visa, and they're not coughing that information up, or at least not to me. Maybe they give it to the insiders on Wall Street. But that's about it. There's just not a lot of sideways action to take a look and get a good read off of it. I am kind of seeing that some of the second and third tier NASDAQ stocks are seeing a little weakness today, starting to sell off some of those stocks. So a little bit it. Now, I will also tell you that one of the things I learned very early in my trading career was something that was taught to me by Tim Ward. He said, and it seems to be fruitful enough that I will repeat it. It's not something that's easily testable, but seems to be something apocryphal that does ring true for me in all the years that after I've learned it. Now, some 18 years later, maybe 16, probably 18 years later. But that is when a stock hangs up at highs for extended periods, watch out because most of the time it will break out. We've kind of played around in this area. Now, that doesn't mean when we break out that it's going to be a valid breakout. It could spend a couple of days higher and that'd be it. But my belief right now is that we will test 2840, the high on the S&P cash, maybe this week. And all it's going to take is a couple of decent earnings stocks to push us up there. Now, maybe we hold or maybe we don't. But right now, no volume on the way up, no volume on the way down, and it is problematic. We only have about a little less than 3.2 billion shares on the day, so there's not a lot of volume. Watched it pretty much all day. Nothing when we went higher, not much when we went lower. Just a very quiet day waiting for earnings, and then, of course, we get into tomorrow's earnings. Let me go ahead and pull that up because I know I've got it here. So let's go back up here. Okay. So tomorrow morning, or let's go through tonight. After the bell tonight, we just have Netflix and Vernet X Holdings, VHC, the symbol on that one. Now, tomorrow is the one I think everybody's kind of, as soon as we go through Netflix on the tech stocks tomorrow morning, it's all about Goldman Sachs. I hear that they're starting to let everybody know who the new CEO is going to be. I saw his name, didn't ring a bell, but you never know. Anyway, Goldman Sachs tomorrow morning at 9:35. United Health earlier than that at just at 6 a.m. Johnson & Johnson at 6:40 a.m. Lockheed Martin at 7:30. Progressive Company sometime before the bell. Comerica at 7:15. Prologix at 8. Mercantile Bank at 6 a.m. Charles Schwab at 8:45. Then we get to after the bell tomorrow night with United Continental Holdings at 4:15, CSX at 4, Interactive Brokers at 4, Pinnacle Financial at 6:20. Don't know why that one's so much after the bell or after. And AdTran tomorrow at 8:10 p.m. Must be because those guys are domiciled in foreign countries. Then we get, of course, to Wednesday. Before the bell, we've got Abbott Labs, Morgan Stanley, M&T, ASML Holdings, WW Grainger, Textron, Novartis, Ericsson, International Business Machines after the bell on Wednesday, along with American Express, Alcoa, United Rentals, Kinder Morgan, Steel Dynamics, and Glencore after I think it's sometime during the night. But that's it. So that kind of gets it. Thursday, we get into a little airline business with Delta. They've kind of pre-announced already, so I don't know if there's going to be a lot. Nucor, Blackstone, PP&G, Philip Morris, Danner, BP&T, Snap-on Tools. After the bell, what do we get that night? Microsoft, Intuitive Surgical, Skechers, eBay, E-Trade, Cintas, the usual suspects through the rest of the week. We'll be back in a minute.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
That it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1969, Apollo 11 is launched from Cape Kennedy, Florida, on the way to becoming the first manned space mission to land men on the moon. Guess you'd have to actually have men on it to land them on the moon. Yes, it makes sense. Of course, what do you know about this day? It was the day everybody dreaded. And why? Because seemingly nothing was impossible. Everybody had the excuse, well, they can put men on the moon, can't they? Why can't they do this? And of course, that was it. Almost as good as the computer is down excuse. That was kind of the opposite of we landed the man on the moon, was that is it. I follow a few people on YouTube, and these guys are basically trying to recreate the computers that actually made this moon landing possible. After, of course, this all got scrapped, everything literally got scrapped. They found the original PC, the first really original PC that was put in both the command capsule and the lunar lander. They didn't get any of those back, of course. But they did get it from the capsules that returned to Earth, the original computers. And believe it or not, they were sold for scrap. Somebody saw them laying there on the ground, and they've been working to recreate the software over the last year of these items. They still pretty much work. They got all the cards, got it all put together, and now working to recreate many of these things. The computer is known as the DSKY. It was DCSY. It was really the first computer ever made that didn't print something that you really had a GUI. Before, you always type things back and forth. This one actually had something that displayed something. You put in commands from the front part. Very non-mainframe-ish as everything was in the 60s. Really the first personal computer. I guess you could say it that way. There was a version of it on the moon, or on the lunar lander, and in the capsule. But a great part of the computer history that we could have possibly lost because all those things were ripped out uh, again. So anyway, on this day in 1969, everything becomes possible because if we can put a man on the moon, we can do anything. And shortly to be, can't do anything because the computer's down. That was the opposite. There's always a yin and yang to everything. But yeah, GUIs from Xerox Parks were shown, but really not. Those were kind of like hack demonstrations. Those ones from 1966 and 7, but certainly showed everybody how to do it later. First, really the first usable PC, personal computer. Of course, it was all hand wound and hand sewn. There's some great videos on YouTube that show you how MIT actually designed the whole thing, how it was potted, weighed 270 pounds. And that sounds like a lot, but guess what? You were talking about tons and tons of hardware before that, and a room that maybe is 2,000 square feet. They ended up putting in 270 pounds and about 5 square feet. But anyway, on this day in 1969. So we got earnings coming. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at Netflix in FLX. It was about $5 earlier, higher in the morning. What else do we have? You can always email me, by the way, at path@tfnn.com. As many people have emailed me already, what am I going to buy for Cyber Monday, whatever it is, Amazon Day? And I have to say, now that I've been through I think three of them now, there's not been one thing I've wanted to buy. And maybe that's it. Netflix is just kind of bouncing around in this area, right at about $400. Let's take a quick look and see if I've got the options data on this. I think I do. Give me just a second to fire this up. Okay, so we're talking Netflix and FLX. Okay, let's take a look at it. Well, certainly people are shorting the living daylights out of it, so there may be something fairly interesting after the bell. I'm just going to go through the last 7 days of trading. 27% short, 28% short, 29% short, 28% short, 28% short, Friday 25, and or excuse me, Thursday 25, Friday 26.5%. Now that doesn't mean people went home that short, but intraday there is a lot of shorting going on in Netflix, pretty high percentage. So let's see what the bi-monthly. You got 17 million shares short. It's not that bad. You've got a couple of days to cover, which is enough. But that was 2 weeks ago. That heavy shorting started about 7 days ago. So there are a lot of people on the short side of Netflix going into earnings for a stock that is in this price range, which is kind of different. You've kind of gone to these highs. Is volume out there? Yeah, but I'm going to say more than any of these stocks, Netflix can literally say anything, and that will be a big deal. But yeah, a little over 17 million shares short in the last reporting period, he said, and yeah, most of the time around that reporting period, it was 20% or below. It was kind of a standard shorting rate on Netflix. So we have seen people get a little bit ahead of that. Kind of came down. You got a little doji out here today, but you've got nothing but really scream about up here at the highs or the lows. Now, one of the other things in the news is, of course, the Farnborough Air Show started today. I haven't had enough time to go back through a lot of what's going on. Boeing has gapped higher. It is holding it. Doesn't have a lot of juice today, but I am not surprised about that either. You do have to say that it is up on lighter volume. This is the gap down of the 19th of June, did so with 6.8 million shares. Today we've got about 1.8 million shares. And of course, this goes into earnings for them. Let's get the earnings date for Boeing, or I'm not going. July 25th. So don't suspect that this thing's going to crack before then. Probably going to just continue up. I think this is another one that has some decent short activity in it. Pretty steep for Boeing. It's got, what's that? Yeah, almost 5 million shares short. We'll be back in a minute.
The Path of Least Resistance, David White's daily market letter, gives you trade recommendations based on David's proprietary power law vector indicator that put the odds of success overwhelmingly in your favor. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price for each stock and option trade. David combines his years of trading experience along with his background in technology and computing to offer his subscribers his take on the markets on a daily basis. Every trading day by 9:30, David publishes his morning issue of The Path of Least Resistance, along with updates sent out throughout the week whenever there is new actionable trading information. All new subscribers receive a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. To sign up for David White's daily trading newsletter right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're back. Apparently, Boeing's got a bunch of orders. One of the reasons they're up there, they did not publicly show the 797, although apparently behind the curtains, They're talking with a lot of people about whether or not to build it or not. Doesn't seem to have hurt the price, at least today, on that. Apparently, they've got drawings that they're showing some folks, like the leaders of airlines, that are over there watching and purchasing. But at least on a day that the market kind of went nowhere, it has gone higher. Again, Boeing's earnings on July 25th. So what does that make that? The 25th is next week from Wednesday. So after earnings expiration. Earnings expiration, of course, is on Friday. So we'll see on that. I was going to look at Netflix. Glad everybody's here to remind me what I was going to do because I tend to forget it fairly quickly. NFLX. Let's take a look at the options. Would be Fridays, right? Okay. No big surprise. There's a lot of people buying downside protection, but doesn't mean much on this one. Okay, the range that we should see on Netflix is on the low side about 370, on the high side about 430. So a pretty wide $60 range setting up for the options in Netflix. Okay. So that gives you a little bit of flavor on what's going on after the bell. Here's a bunch of stocks I wanted to go back and look through. What's BDX? Okay. Let's take a look. Beckinson Dickinson testing its particular high 247.64. That's a January 29th high of this year. It had 1.6 million shares, tested it with 500,000 shares on Friday, a little bit back into the trading zone. Take a quick look at Baidu too. And I've got some questions here in the email. Okay. Get to that too. Let me get a few of those things. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. Okay. I wanted to, looking at Baidu here, I get easily distracted. You're back up to the 273.61. Got up there with almost 6 million shares, tested it with almost 4 million shares on Friday. You're back below that. Energy's about the same on the way up, on the way down in the last move. But of course, you had that real big move, which is May 16th down to the 263, 236.61 May 23rd low. That was 15 million shares. You tested it with lighter volume on July 2nd, and we've popped up here. So this is kind of the standard thing out here. We have light volume tests of previous lows. We've got light volume tests of previous highs. And it doesn't give you a lot of satisfaction when you're digging back in through some of these. Let me see what else out here. Let's take a look at Fossil. This thing has been kind of a rocket on various earnings dates. The last time this thing took off was February 14th. Everybody had left this for dead. You had a monster, I think, 15 days to cover back on the 14th of February when this gapped up. How big a gap was that? You closed at $9 and you closed the next, or you went to a high of $18 the next day. So 100% move. And of course, you start selling off, you get back down to $11.40, and this thing just keeps going back up to 32.17. We've pulled back down to what should be kind of support for this last gap up, and that happened on June the 4th with 4.5 million shares Got into it on Thursday, Thursday last week, 3.44 million shares. Friday, you had 1.4 million shares. Today, you got about 600,000 shares. So the question is anything really significantly changed in fossil? Probably not, other than the fact that this thing had gone from hundreds of dollars, over $100, back down to that $7 level. Let's see what we've got here. Still a lot of people shorting the living daylights out of it. Last Thursday, you had 30%. Day before that, 27% short during the day. A little less on Friday, just 19%, which is probably fairly standard for the stock by now after it came up. But again, let's look at the bi-monthlies on this. Okay, still a no-go on this one. The last reporting period still had 6 days to cover. You had a lot of people going into it. When is this one? OSL. I mean, these guys are really going to have to whiff to blow this one out. August 7th for fossil. So let's see what else we have coming up here. To GOGL, Google at its highs. Its earnings on July the 23rd. It's hanging at the highs. Just so many of these stocks hanging at the highs. I think we're going to have a massive surprise by one of these to get these things off of them before they go into earnings. Google, although I think it has a lot more issues than the others, actually holding up fairly good against the January 29th high. That is $1,186.89 with 1.4 million shares. Into it with 1.2 million shares, so a little light on Friday, especially for a light Friday already. Today, just 700,000 shares. But my guess is it's going to be very tough to knock any of these FANG stocks off these highs before they actually report. They may be a little off if someone whiffs before them. Microsoft back up to 105.82 today, giving a little bit of reversal. Light volume, 13.4 million shares compared to Friday's 24.6 million shares. So a little higher, not much volume. This thing really looks to me like it's going to consolidate in this $100 downside range. I don't know if it rolls over today, but to me, this thing really looks like it wants to come back to about $100. But I don't see any reason for that one to fall off the side of the earth. Okay. Question to look at. Turtle. Is this a parabolic move? HEAR. We'll look at this when we return. Got a lot of stocks to look at here yet today. A lot of action this week. Expiration on Friday. I'm starting to get excited.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks! Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The Taz Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the Taz Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Taz Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the Taz Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And there's a question, what's Turtle Beach do? Well, they used to be high-end sound cards, still are. But if you're a professional musician, they make cards for and devices to plug into your Mac or your PC and do high-end stuff. But the real money that they've made now is apparently all for gaming headsets. And if you don't watch your kid or somebody else play games these days, they all form teams. Most of these things are first-person shooters, and you've got your boom mic in front of you. These things are selling for about $150. They look like they cost about $20 to make. So a pretty decent profit margin on these things. And over the last 6 months, everybody's getting into these high-end game headsets and gaming chairs and a handful of other things. But instead of hot rodding cars, these guys are hot rodding their PCs. And that seems to be it. Now all the rage is to have RGB LEDs on everything and have the colors strobe. Kind of the equivalent of putting chrome rims on the car. Anyway, Turtle Beach makes these gaming headsets with headphones and a boom mic and a push-to-talk system, some other stuff for gamers. And they've, I guess, basically owned the business now. The question is whether or not, you really don't need to buy a second one after you buy the first one. So at some point, these guys are going to hit some kind of inflection level. And at that point, where does this come back down? And two, when do these guys kind of roll off and start having profit margin issues by other people? Because what they build really isn't that spectacular. It's just that they had a bunch of people making a lot of crap, and they came in with at least a decent product before they came in. And of course, if you go into Best Buy, you'll go down the aisle, you'll see some of these headsets from them. Right next to it, it's gaming keyboards, which is kind of a real throwback for me because, of course, they are advertising original IBM PC keyboard keys. The original cherry keys that click when you push down had a lot of feeling to them. Touch typists love them. Now everybody just wants a cheap keyboard. But which one am I using? I use the Microsoft 4000. I love it. It's nicely laid out. Their new one is not wired, which I dislike because it seems like you're always doing something when you run out of batteries that you need it. And since I don't want to end up with a club hand from a mouse, I use, I'll show it right there. I have my nice little Logitech mouse, or trackball, excuse me. And they're coming out with a new one. I've read a couple of reviews. I've actually ended up buying new switches for this one and repairing it. But you can buy these things, I think, on sale occasionally for $20. But at least you don't have to move your hand and wrist around a lot, causing carpal tunnel. Can't even say it today. Carpal tunnel syndrome. I'll eventually figure it out. But we'll look at the rest of it. Anyway, no real signal out here. Yes, is it a kind of a nice parabolic move higher? Yeah, anything, real value on this, I suspect, is somewhere back down around $10. You'd like this thing to get it. So, I don't short many stocks in the under $30. This one would be very interesting if we started seeing the market as a whole pull back, because I think there was a lot of this, the gaming cards, NVIDIA, AMD, all these people piling into what was a fairly narrow market, driven a little bit more narrow by machine learning and by, in the AMD camp, mining for cryptocurrencies. Nuclear, I know how to say that. It's this carpal tunnel. I think I said it right there. Tunnel. Carpal tunnel syndrome. I don't say that word a lot. Anyway, very interesting. No sign now. Any kind of dip below a 9-day moving average here, you'd want to look at this. See, I think this one's coming up on earnings also. HEAR. Okay. HEAR. August 8th. So you'd want to look at that. I hate to be shorting into any kind of earnings these days, so I probably would stay away from it. But that's probably the most attractive one. The question of whether or not they can keep that up is probably a moot one. The question is whether or not when they go to earnings, if they state that. There's a few other here in my list that I wanted to get to. iRobot, this one blew up. It's now coming back. One of the ones that I would look at but again, everything is coming up on earnings. These guys are on July 24th. But man, if I knew these guys were it. Still no test of the 55.77 low of February 9th. So this would be one of the stocks that I think is probably the most susceptible to lower profits. And I just don't see that many people talking about the Roomba. I don't see that many new products that they're talking about. It blew apart. It's come back up here. It's done everything it did. Now, if its earnings were just 6 weeks away or something, I would have loved to jump on this, but unfortunately, it's probably going to hang itself up here until it does come out on the 24th. Say tunnel 3 times fast. Tunnel, tunnel, tunnel. Carpal tunnel syndrome. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm kind of like Larry Pesavento this morning. Couldn't remember Steve Jobs. That's kind of me all day long. It's just been a nice day. Sun's out. Little thunderstorms down here in Florida. Predictable thunderstorms. We're looking at the biotechs and the bear shares for John. LABD, we'll look at that. And you do have kind of a little signal out here. I would have liked it to be a little better off the bottom on this. This is the Direction Daily Biotech Bear shares. Nice little move up here today, back over the 9-day on this. Energy is pretty good so far. It's just a little subtle for me. I would have loved to see you had the $21.69 July 21st low come in with 2 million shares. You tested it with 1.7 million shares. I would have liked to seen that with 1. And generally, if you get that close, you're going to at least consolidate for a little while. So what do we want to see today? And that is like 2.5 million shares. You might get it, depending on things going on. But energy is about the same, up from that June 21st low to the June 28th high, back down to the July 9th low. So there isn't a lot of up and down movement that's giving us any clues. We don't have that much divergence in the lows, other than it was a little lower. And now you got to pop out here, and it doesn't look like it's going to blow itself away on the upside. So right now we just have a market that's kind of going sideways. Let's check back in here just to make sure. I haven't looked at it here. Yeah, we're off 6 points on the S&P cash. No big whoop. Dow's up 2. Nasdaq's off 27. We'll be back in a minute.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
A Rubik's Cube offers more than 100 million starting positions, resulting in 43 billion potential twists and turns. Yet this puzzle can be solved in 20 moves. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, and knowing the right move makes all the difference in the world. And on Thursday, July 19th at 4:15 p.m., I'll share with you the 3 essential tools behind my #1 ranking by Timer Digest for the S&P 500. This 30-minute event is being hosted by Ninja Trader, and it's open to everyone in our listening audience. At this event, I'll share with you the Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal that subscribers now use to identify tops and bottoms, as well as Stevie's red line and the market profiles that I use. The sign-up link is on the homepage of TFNN.com and requires nothing more than your name and email address. To help celebrate my #1 market timing ranking, we're making Mastering Probability available to anyone in our listening audience for the next 30 days with a free money-back guarantee, whether you've subscribed in the past or not. Make your move now by coming to the homepage of TFNN.com and sign up for Thursday's workshop, as well as my free newsletter trial offer.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And yeah, we're looking at off 7 points on the S&P cash again. I think everybody's just kind of nervous of waiting for Netflix after the bell, and how much it's going to be hurt by its international expansions. But like I said, man, you got about 30 points up or down when I look at the options. So I don't think there's a lot of people out there that have a good idea one way or the other. Let's go ahead. Do we have enough time for? Yeah, we do. We've got enough time to go back and look at another stock. Let's take a look at Twillo. It's up here at its highs. Now, it actually is one of the weaker stocks out here. Let's take a look and see when this one is out. Okay. Oh, I don't know why it didn't go to that. TWTO, right? Willow? I don't know. Something's not working right here. Okay. What did I want to look at? Earnings on this one. TWTO. Does it have anything changed on this one? Doesn't look like it. I'm not getting an earnings date on it. Anyway, testing the June 18th high, $62.34. It had 3.6 million shares. Like this one a lot more. It tested the high on half the volume, less than half the volume. It's back into trading range. Energy was fairly extensive from that July or June 18th high down the June 25th low. Very, very little, if any, energy back up. One of the better looking short setups here. Just can't get the EW. Oh, come on. There it is, August 7th. So, again, we're so close to a lot of these earnings. These things probably, even on light volume, will hold up until we hear what they have to say. Anyway, sell when you can, not when you have to. We will see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Think or Swim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com, educating investors.
No matter what kind of trader